Hello and welcome everyone on this official platform of Legacy IAS Academy, and in this session I am going to discuss three most important act which is from the perspective of Indian polity as well as modern Indian history. As we have seen that in previous year questions, that UPSC has given much stress on these three acts, that is Government of India Act 1909, which is also called as Morley-Minto Reforms, and also Indian Council Act 1909. Then Montagu-Chelmsford Reforms, that is Government of India Act 1919, and then गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935। तो पिछले कुछ सालों में यूपीएससी ने अपने एग्जाम में प्रीलिम्स में इन एक्ट्स पर काफी सारे क्वेश्चंस पूछे हैं। तो आज हम इस सेशन में इन एक्ट्स को इन डेप्थ एनालिसिस करेंगे एंड वी आर गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड डिस्क्रिप्टिव थिंग्स एज वेल एज स्टैटिक पोर्शन फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन। सो लेट्स बिगिन विद दिस सेशन। So first of all, Government of India Act 1909. Now this act, why this act first of all was introduced? Okay, what were the reasons, what were the factors which leads to this Government of India Act or Indian Council Act of 1909? Now first of all, this act is also known as Morley-Minto Reforms. Morley was the Secretary of State, Lord Minto was Viceroy or Governor General of India. Getting my point? So this act is basically one of the historic act which was passed by British Parliament, because at that time Lord Morley, who was Secretary of State, and Minto, they have taken some important decision. Clear? Now first of all, we'll try to understand what are the factors which leads to this or the formation of this act. Now what are the factors? So let me tell you, there are number of factors, like first of all, tremendous rise in national consciousness. Now tremendous rise in national consciousness in the sense, because the background is various now nationalist movements were started, and participation of different leaders, like rise of extremist. Clear? Rise of extremist in 20th century, in the beginning of 20th century. So extremist leaders like Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, then Lala Lajpat Rai, Ajit Singh, Aurobindo Ghosh. Clear? And after that, now because of rise of extremists, so nationalism has gaining momentum in the beginning of 20th century. तो ये जो टाइम पीरियड है, here nationalism gained momentum in the beginning of 20th century. So that is why the rise in national consciousness. Now second important factor, Lord Curzon's reactionaries policies. Yes, various reforms of Lord Curzon, like now all the reforms of Lord Curzon's were for to curb the nationalist activities. अब जितने भी reforms इन्होंने किए, so those reforms were having declared agenda as well as hidden agenda. Clear? For example, Calcutta Municipal Corporation Act, of 1899, Indian Universities Act, 1904. तो ये जितने भी एक्ट आए, so these acts, for example Indian Universities Act, this act was created to curb the participation of students in nationalist activities. Clear? So Lord Curzon's reactionary policies, then rise of extremists and revolutionaries. Yes. Now because of extremists, now extremists basically youth, and their policy was different. Their policy was boycott and passive resistance. Passive resistance. Now another reason was there for the rise of extremists was international influence, because during this time period Japan defeated Russia, a small power defeated big empire. Getting my point? Then Ethiopia, a country in Africa, defeated Italy. तो ये जो events हो रहे थे, these events influenced Indian leaders, Indian youth at that time. That is why rise in extremists and revolutionaries. Clear? Now another important reason, INC was also agitating for more reforms and self-governance of Indians. Now INC, especially moderate leaders. Moderate leaders. So moderates policy was 3 P's. 3 P's means prayer, petition and protest. And this was not liked by extremist group. Getting my point? This was not liked by extremist group. So that is why, so moderates, they were asking for self-rule. Self-rule. Clear? So earlier Congress leaders were moderates, but now extremists were on the rise who believe in more aggressive methods. More aggressive methods like boycott, passive resistance. Clear? Now remember this thing, officially Indian National Congress demanded self-rule for the first time in 1906. Clear? So that is why during this time period when partition of Bengal and when Swadeshi movement was started, so Gopal Krishna Gokhale, he met Morley. He met Morley, that means Secretary of State in England, to emphasize the need for reforms. Getting my point? And then in 1906, now remember this thing, because of Lord Curzon policy, partition of Bengal in 1905. So because of this, Swadeshi movement was started, and the main tool was boycott and passive resistance. Now this movement is also called as Vande Mataram movement, and initially the most important feature was Hindu-Muslim unity. Now again Hindu Muslims came together. This was not liked by Britishers. Clear? That is why Britishers here adopted the policy called as divide and rule. Yes. अब आप कहेंगे कि सर divide and rule कैसे? Now at the same time in 1905, rise of Liberal Party in Britain. Liberal Party came to power in Britain at the end of 1905, and two liberals, that is John Morley, who became Secretary of State, and John Morley was the member of Liberal government, and Lord Minto, who was the Viceroy of that time, he wanted to make positive changes in India's government. That is why now, अब इनका aim क्या था? That okay, that we can give self-rule to moderates, and we need to suppress extremist leaders. Getting my point? And we should bring communal divide. So communalism was the policy adopted by these peoples. Clear? Now अब यहीं से समझने वाली बात है that how they brought these changes. So Hindu-Muslim unity was there. That is why in 1906 formation of Muslim League. अब इन्होंने कह दिया नवाब ऑफ ढाका सलीमुल्लाह that you have to stop the participation of Muslims. So that is why Shimla deputation, a group of elite Muslims led by Aga Khan, they met Lord Minto in 1906 and they placed their demand for separate electorate for the Muslims. Getting my point? So now these people, they help British कि Muslims participate नहीं करेंगे. So that is why a Shimla deputation went to meet Lord Minto. तो उन्होंने कहा कि अब हमें आपको पावर देनी पड़ेगी. So Lord Minto gave them an idea to create one institution or political party, and that is why it resulted into the formation of All India Muslim League. All India Muslim League 1906. Clear? And remember this thing. Now communalism was started. Now this communalism will get institution in 1909. That means this act, Government of India Act 1909, when they will be given separate electorate. So the seeds of partition were sown in this act. Clear? So now before the advent of this act, Government of India Act 1909, before that, in August 1907, two Indians were appointed in Secretary of State Council, that is India Council. दो Indians को appoint किया गया था Indian Council London में, and those Indians were K.G. Gupta and Sayyid Hussain Bilgrami. Getting my point? Remember these names for your prelims examination. They can ask question from like in the form of match the columns. Clear? And they were appointed as members in Secretary of State India Council. Clear? So these were the reasons that resulted into the coming of this Government of India Act 1909. Now we'll discuss the provisions. Now first important thing, the most important provision here, the word election was introduced in this act. So Government of India Act 1909 में they introduced officially the word election, though election was indirect. Getting my point? So this act introduced a word election. So though it was indirect election, that means now how election will take place? First of all, local bodies will be there. Getting my point? So local bodies will be elected, and then the members of local bodies will elect the provincial legislative council members. जो local bodies के members होंगे, clear? So they will elect the members of provincial legislative council members, and then the provincial legislative council members will elect imperial legislative council members. Imperial legislative council members. Clear? Or central legislative council. So remember this thing, if UPSC asks for the first time officially, the word election was introduced in this Government of India Act 1909. Clear? This much is clear to all of you. So this was the scenario. So though indirect election was there. Clear? Now first of all, we'll discuss the legislative councils at center. So what was the change in legislative council in this center? So now remember this thing, the legislative council in the center and the provinces, their members, their size was increased. Now for example, in Indian Council Act of 1892, वहां पर मैक्सिमम मेंबर्स कितने थे? 16. नाउ इन दिस गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1909, इन सेंट्रल लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल members were increased, additional members were increased from 16 to 60. So in central legislative council members कितने हो गए? 16 to 60. Remember this thing. This much is clear to all of you. अब ये 60 members इसमें आ गए थे. Clear? Now, remember this thing. Now, these 60 members were, remember this thing, these members were there in Central Legislative Council. Apart from this, legislative councils of Bengal, Madras, Bombay and United Provinces. यहां पर कितने मेंबर हो गए थे? 50 मेंबर्स. पहले कितने थे? 20. So again increase 20 to 50. So earlier there were in these councils, that is Punjab, Bengal, Madras, Bombay and United Provinces, 20 members were there. But in Government of India Act 1909, 50 members limit कर दी गई थी. Clear? ये याद रखिएगा. Getting my point? So there were total 60 members. Clear? Now, so overall अगर आप देखेंगे, so if UPSC asks Central Legislative Council composed of, so what will you write? Not 60 but 69. These are additional members. Remember this thing. Getting my point? These are additional members. Total कितने थे? 69. अब 69 कैसे? Now remember this thing. 60 members. Clear? And 9 ex officio members जिनको कहा जाता है. 9 ex officio members. This much is clear to all of you. So total 69 members. Now UPSC can also ask, out of this 69, how many are official and how many are non-official members? Getting my point? So remember this thing, 37 are official members and 32 non-official members. 37 official members and 32 non-official members. Clear? अब ये 37 official कैसे होंगे? That means those who are nominated or elected by Governor General. So इसमें कौन कौन होगा? The composition of this 37 is 9 ex officio members plus 28 other members. Remember this thing. ये सारी चीजें आपके नोट्स में होनी चाहिए. Clear? So 28 members were nominated by Governor General. 9 are ex officio. 28 are nominated by Governor General. Getting my point? ये याद रखिएगा. That is why they are called as official members. 32 are elected. Now, if UPSC asks majority, so in Central Legislative Council, majority किसकी है? Majorities are official members. This one is clear to all of you. Majorities are official members. Clear? Now, so getting my point, additional members 60, overall members 69. Out of 69, how many how many officials and non-officials? So official 37, non-official 32. Clear? Remember this thing. So out of this 37, 9 are ex officio, 28 are nominated by Governor General. Clear? So remember this composition. This composition is very important. Okay. Now, legislative councils of Punjab, Burma and Assam. These three, in these three provinces, 30 members each were there. Getting my point? So remember these things. These things are important for your examination. Now, legislative council at center and provinces were to have 4 categories of members. Yes. Now legislative council at center and provinces have 4 categories of members. 4 categories in the sense अभी मैंने बताया भी है. Ex officio members. Getting my point? So ex officio member मतलब Governor General and members of legislative council. Getting my point? Now I would like to mention one more thing, that in this act for the very first time, first Indian was appointed in Viceroy or Governor General Executive Council. So and the name of that Indian was SP Sinha. Clear? अभी मैं discuss करूंगा उनके बारे में. So ex officio members means Governor General and his Executive Council. Then nominated official members. अभी हमने समझा था ना that 69 members were there. So 37 and 32 are non-officials, means these are elected members. 37 are officials, that means these are nominated members. So out of this 9 ex officio, 28 nominated by Governor General. Clear? So nominated official members, that means government officials who were nominated by Governor General. Then nominated non-official members, that means nominated by Governor General but were not government officials. Yes. So nominated non-official members, those who are nominated by Governor General but they were not government officials. And then elected members, so elected by different categories of Indians. So elected members were elected by different categories of Indians. This much is clear to all of you? Clear? ये याद रखिएगा. So these things are very important for your examination. You should know all these things. Clear? Okay. So 32 क्या है? ये non-official members हैं. Now these 32 non-official members, remember this thing. Now out of these 32 non-official members, 5 were to be nominated by Governor General. जैसे ये लिखा हुआ है ना, nominated non-official members. Yes. So out of this 32, 5 nominated by Governor General. Clear? And remaining 28 elected. That means elected members by different categories of Indians. Clear? Composition समझ में आ गया तो सभी का composition याद रखिएगा. Clear? Now, so remember this thing, this act actually widened the deliberative work of legislative councils of both level, and it provided for the first time for Indians to be associated with Executive Council. Yes, for the first time Indian was appointed in Governor General Executive Council. Clear? And the name was Satyendra Prasad Sinha, that is SP Sinha. Now SP Sinha became law member in Viceroy Executive Council, and later SP Sinha was also appointed as first governor of Bihar and Odisha in 1920. Later he was appointed as first governor of Bihar and Odisha in 1920, and with this he became the first Indian to hold such office under British. So he became first Indian who holds such high office. Getting my point? Now, so as we have discussed just now, clear that reforms in Legislative Council, it increased the number of elected members. Clear? In councils, that is Imperial Legislative and Provincial Legislative Councils. So in Imperial Legislative Council, increase was from 16 to 60. Clear? But most of the members were still indirectly elected. Now non-official majority was in Provincial Legislative Council. सेंट्रल लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल में क्या था, अभी हमने डिस्कस किया. इन सेंट्रल लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल overall 69 members. So out of this 37 officials, 32 non-officials. So 37 these official members. So 9 ex officio, that means executive council के लोग, plus remaining members 28. Clear? Now these were nominated by Governor General. Then 32 non-officials. In this, 5 were nominated by Governor General and remaining 28 elected. Getting my point? Remaining 28 elected. Clear? So this is the structure of Legislative Council. This much is clear to all of you. Remember this thing. Now, official majority in Imperial Legislative Council was retained, as we have discussed just now. Here official members are more, and then more power to the council at both level. Yes, more powers were given to both the council, central as well as provincial legislative council, like powers like they can now table resolutions, then they can vote on separate items of budget, not as a whole, but they can vote on separate items. Clear? And they can ask supplementary questions as well. Yes, for the very first time this provision was given in this act, only for the very first time, that now Indians can ask supplementary questions. Clear? Now another important thing here is the elected members were from local bodies, the chambers of commerce, landlords. Clear? अब जो elected members होंगे याद रखिएगा वो local bodies के होंगे. Clear? Then chamber of commerce, landlords, universities, traders, communities and Muslims. Yes, because separate electorate of Muslim was given. Clear? So in provincial council, non-official members were in the majority. Now in provincial council, non-official members were in majority. Getting my point? Since non-official, now some non-official members were nominated, but in total non-elected majority was there. Yes. So some of the members were nominated, but in total non-elected majority was there. So ये याद रखिएगा that in provincial legislative council, the most important thing that majority of the people were elected. Getting my point? ये याद रखिएगा. So nominated member कम होंगे, clear, and non-official members ज़्यादा होंगे. Clear? Non-official members were in majority. So Indians were given membership to Imperial Legislative Council for the first time. Yes, for the very first time, Indians entered into Central Legislative Council, like in Viceroy Executive Council. S.P. Sinha was the member. He was the first Indian. Only one member was allowed. And then this act introduced separate electorates for Muslims, and some constituencies were marked for Muslims only. That means only Muslim voters and Muslim leader. Getting my point? So only Muslim could vote their representatives, and the members now could discuss the budget and move resolutions as well. Clear? So now members can discuss the budget and resolution, and they could also discuss the matters of public interest. So members were also given the permission to ask supplementary questions, and then no discussion will be there on foreign policy. Yes, this power was not there. No discussion will be on foreign policy or on relation with princely states. Clear? So these things were not permitted. Clear? ये याद रखिएगा. So these were the changes in this act. Clear? So I hope this much is clear to all of you. Okay. So basically this communal electorate which is given in this 1900 Act, this institutionalized the communalism. Clear? And this act sowed the seed of partition. Getting my point? This act, this separate electorate means institutionalization of communalism. Clear? Remember this thing. So that is why this act is called as legalized communalism. Getting my point? And Lord Minto is considered as father of communal electorate. Clear? So this is the overall analysis. Now overall analysis is this sowed the seeds of partition in India. Clear? And it is believed that the expectation of self-government that Congress wanted, they have given some kind of self-governance in the form of the members in Imperial Legislative Council as well as Provincial Legislative Council. Clear? But no meaningful representation was there at central level. So later this became dissatisfaction for these Congress people. Getting my point? So remember this thing. तो सबसे important चीज ये याद रखिएगा, what was the voting eligibility at that time? Though indirect elections were there, but at local bodies people will elect local bodies members. So what was the eligibility for voting. So at that time universal adult franchise was not there. So elections were officially organized in India after the coming of this act only, and voting rights were with the section who were paying tax of 500 or above. So this kind of voting eligibility is called as limited franchise. सभी के पास rights नहीं. Clear everyone? So I hope this much is clear to all of you. Now another act which came, that is Government of India Act 1919. Yes. Now Government of India Act 1919, there are various factors which resulted into the coming of this act. Now first of all, 1909 Act created a kind of disillusion. Getting my point? So disillusionment with the Act of 1909, and then 1914 to 1918 World War was started. So outbreak of First World War. So because of this, here in First World War, British, they wanted Indian support. They wanted Indian support. Clear? तो इसके बदले में इन्होंने इंडियन से प्रॉमिस किया, लीडर्स से प्रॉमिस किया कि हम आपको बहुत बड़े गिफ्ट देंगे आफ्टर फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर. दैट इज व्हाई महात्मा गांधी हेल्प्ड ब्रिटिश in recruiting Indians, and Mahatma Gandhi got the title also Kesare Hind. Clear? Rabindranath Tagore got the title knighthood. So after the war, after First World War, inflation was there, Britain was facing financial crisis, and in this scenario they brought an act which was not beneficial for Indians called as Government of India Act 1919. Clear? So Indian leaders actually, they pushed British establishment for gradual introduction of responsible government in India. So Indian leaders were demanding for responsible government in India. Getting my point? So British government also promised in same exchange of support in First World War कि आप हमें support करिए, हम आपको responsible government दे देंगे. Clear? So ये British की कौन सी policy थी? It is called as carrot and stick policy. Clear? So this act was actually imperative for the government to introduce responsible government at some level. Clear? So Congress, now another important thing, in 1916 Lucknow session of Congress. Now in this extremist moderates came together, plus Congress and Muslim League again came together. Getting my point? And Muhammad Ali Jinnah was given the title by Annie Besant, and Muhammad Ali Jinnah was given the title by Sarojini Naidu as brand ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity. Getting my point? So that is why when Britishers saw, then again Congress and Muslim League came together. तो ये हमेशा खतरा से रहा है कि ब्रिटिशर्स ने हमेशा से यही किया है, इनको डिवाइड रखो तभी रूल कर पाएंगे. क्लियर? सो दैट इज व्हाई दीज वर द रीजंस, दैट इज व्हाई a new act was introduced after First World War called as Government of India Act 1919, which is also called as Montagu-Chelmsford reforms. Now Government of India Act 1919. Now the first important thing here is, now in this act some of the powers of Secretary of States were taken away and were given to British High Commissioner, Indian High Commissioner. Some of the powers of Secretary of States were taken away and given to High Commissioner. Clear? Now this High Commissioner will be in London only, and the office of High Commissioner was also established. Now second important thing, now the salary of Secretary of State will be paid by British government, not by Indian government. So Secretary of State to be paid by British Exchequer. Getting my point? Clear? Now the most important provision here is that at provincial level diarchy was introduced. Yes, provincial level diarchy was introduced. Clear? Now at provincial level, diarchy was introduced. Diarchy means provincial subject will be divided into two categories: transferred and reserved subject. Reserved subject कौन कौन से होंगे? Which are having utmost importance, like finance ministry काफी important है, then home ministry, then foreign affairs. These ministries are having very important role in terms of policy making. Clear? आज भी देखिए आप इन मिनिस्ट्रीज में कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर्स होते हैं. And then transferred ministry will be given to Indian leaders, and this will be under the control of British only at provincial level. ये याद रखिएगा, provincial diarchy. So Indian leaders will be given like education ministry, health, water, environment, etc. Clear? Then this act also established public service commission. Then limited franchise was there. Yes, no universal adult franchise, limited franchise was there. Clear? And for the very first time in Government of India Act 1919, separate provincial budget was launched for the first time. Clear? Now first we'll discuss provincial diarchy. So diarchy was introduced at provincial level. So at provincial level diarchy, that means two kinds of subject: transferred list and reserved list. Clear? So remember this thing. Now provincial government will be headed by, head कौन होगा? So head of provincial executive, governor only. Governor. Clear? Now two types of list. So the provincial subject divided into two categories: transferred and reserved. Reserved revenues, land revenue will come under reserve because revenue की finance से related है. Law and order, that means police will be under the control of British. Ministry, important ministries like home affairs under the control of British. Indian leaders will be given agriculture, industry, health, education, supervision of local government, and here finance, land revenue, justice, police, irrigation and all. Clear? So this thing was there in Government of India Act 1919. So diarchy. So this diarchy was not liked by Indian leaders. Clear? Now, so as you can see here, that diarchy was introduced to two classes of administrator. One will be considered as Indian ministers, another Britishers will be considered as executive councillors. Then governor was the head of executive at provincial level. Subjects divided into two: reserved and transferred. Then governor was in charge of reserve list with his executive councillors, and the subject under this list were law and order, irrigation, land revenue, finance, etc. And then Indian ministers were in charge of transferred list, and they were given agriculture, public works, health and all. Clear? And then the ministers were responsible to the people who elected them through the legislature. Yes, these ministers were responsible to the legislature because they were elected by the members of, now these ministers were elected by the people. Clear? Yes. यहां पर अब एक चीज अभी मैं आपको और बताऊंगा, that here direct election provision was introduced. Clear? So in 1909 indirect was there, and then this direct election was there. Clear? So voting eligibility भी अभी मैं आपको बताऊंगा voting eligibility क्या थी. So people used to elect the members. Now these ministers were nominated from the elected members of legislative council. Yes. So these ministers were nominated from among the elected members of legislative council. अब आप कहेंगे सर ये क्या है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल आज इलेक्शंस मिनिस्टर्स के नहीं होते, इलेक्शंस किसके होते हैं? असेंबली के, लोकसभा के. सो लोकसभा में जो भी पार्टी मेजॉरिटी में आएगी, दे विल फॉर्म देयर गवर्नमेंट. क्लियर? सिमिलरली इन प्रोविंसेस which whosoever party will come, like party A पावर में आई, तो अब ये अपने मेंबर्स में से कुछ मेंबर्स को इलेक्ट करेगी, नॉमिनेट करेगी एज मिनिस्टर्स, बाकी कौन हो जाएंगे? एमपीज। क्लियर? सो सिमिलरली remember this thing, ministers were nominated from the elected members of legislative council. Clear? Now executive councillors were not responsible to the legislature because they were British official members, but ministers were responsible for the legislature. Clear? And then secretary of state and governor general could interfere in the matters of reserved list, but interference was restricted in transferred list. Yes, सेक्रेटरी ऑफ स्टेट एंड गवर्नर जनरल। गवर्नर जनरल हियर प्रोविंसेस में कौन होगा? गवर्नर। गवर्नर जनरल मींस हेड। गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? सो गवर्नर जनरल एंड सेक्रेटरी ऑफ स्टेट कुड इंटरफेयर इन प्रोविंशियल रिजर्व लिस्ट, बट दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू इंटरफेयर इन ट्रांसफर्ड लिस्ट। क्लियर? सो दीज आर इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोविजंस विद रिस्पेक्ट टू प्रोविंसेस। Now as you can see here, legislature, the size of provincial legislative assemblies was increased now. Yes, now the size of provincial legislative was increased, clear, in this act, and about 70% of members were elected. Clear? Because Indians demanded for responsible government, that means elected government. So here 70% of the members were elected. Clear? But अब यहां पर एक चीज और आ गई, communalism. Now separate electorates was given to other groups also. अभी 1909 में किसको दिया था? मुस्लिम्स। In this act separate electorate was given to Sikh, Anglo Indians, Indian born Christians, these three groups. So separate electorates for Muslims was already there in this act, given to Sikh, Anglo Indians and Indian born Christians. Clear? And some women could also vote. So this, now this separate electorate is a kind of communal divide to create or to widen this communal divide with various other communities. And another important thing, governor's assent was required to pass any bill. Yes, आज भी यही होता है प्रोविंसेस में, स्टेट्स में, गवर्नर असेंट इज नेसेसरी टू पास एनी बिल, एंड गवर्नर आल्सो हैड वीटो पावर एंड कुड इशू ऑर्डिनेंसेस एज वेल. क्लियर? नाउ central government. Now what was the important feature of central government? So let me tell you, bicameralism was introduced at central level. Yes, bicameralism. Bicameralism for the first time was introduced at central level. That means now two houses, upper house and lower house. That means at central level two houses came. CLA, that is Central Legislative Assembly, and Council of States. Council of States. Clear? Central Legislative Assembly, lower house. Council of States, upper house. Clear? Then in Central Legislative Assembly, that means in lower house, how many members were there? 145. In upper house, members 60. Clear? Then out of this 145 members, how many members are elected and how many are nominated? So let me tell you, 104 members elected. Clear? 104 members elected and 41 members nominated. This much is clear to all of you. Elected and 41 members nominated. Clear? Now in upper house, 34 members elected and 26 members nominated. 26 members nominated. दोनों को साथ में कंपेयर करना है, both the houses. Now the tenure of this Central Legislative Assembly. Now the Central Legislative Assembly or tenure of lower house was for 3 years and upper house tenure was for 5 years. Now the question here is whether women can vote or contest in Central Legislative Assembly. Yes, women can vote and conquest also, but in case of Council of State, women neither they can vote nor they can contest. Remember this thing. Women can vote and contest in this, neither vote nor contest. Clear? This is the composition of these two houses, and this bicameralism was introduced in this Government of India Act 1919. So, executive, the chief executive authority was Governor General of India or Viceroy. There were two lists for administration. Yes, in this Government of India Act 1919, two lists were introduced, just like Schedule 7. Clear? Central list and provincial list. So central list किसके कंट्रोल में होगी? गवर्नर जनरल. Provincial list, that means for provinces, and this provincial list was divided into two, transferred and reserved, which we have discussed just now. Clear? Now if there is any issue or any subject which is not under the provincial list or central list, that will come under automatically under the domain of central list. अगर कोई ऐसा सब्जेक्ट है जो दोनों में नहीं है, that will come under central list. Clear? So provincial list was under the provinces, while center will take care of central list. So remember this thing, out of 6 members of Viceroy Executive Council, 3 were to be Indians. Yes. Now in this act, out of 6 members of Viceroy Executive Council, 3 member कौन होने चाहिए? Indians. Clear? So that means increase of Indian members in Executive Council, Viceroy Executive Council. Now Governor General could issue ordinances. Governor General of India could issue ordinances as well. He could certify bills that were rejected by Central Legislature. Yes, he could also certify bills that were rejected by Central Legislature. So that means Governor General was given more powers. Clear? Then in terms of legislature, bicameral legislature was set up. That means Central Legislative Assembly, just like Lok Sabha, and Council of State, just like Rajya Sabha. Clear? And the members had a tenure of lower house for 3 years, which we have discussed just now. Clear? And the nominated members were nominated by Governor General. So nominated members will be nominated by whom? Governor General. So in this act, various other groups were given separate electorates like Anglo-Indians. So nominated members will be from Anglo-Indians as well as Indian Christians also. Sikh were also given separate electorate. Clear? As you can see here. So Legislative Assembly members, clear, total 145, 104 elected. Then 41 nominated members, abhi humne discuss kiya. Clear? So out of 104 elected, 52 general, 30 members Muslims, 9 Europeans, 7 landlords, 4 representative communities of Indian community and 2 Sikh members. This is the main composition. Then 41 nominated members were there. Now in this 41 nominated members, UPSC can also ask how many official and non-official. So 26 official and 15 non-official. This much is clear to all of you. Getting my point? So I hope this much is clear to all of you. Now another house, that is upper house, Council of State. Now in this only male members, as I have said that women's neither they can vote nor they can contest. So that means only male members will be there. Tenure 5 years and lower house ka 3 years. Members of the Council of State 26, nominated 34, elected. Clear? So now here the legislators could ask questions and also vote on a part of budget. Yes. Now here legislators could ask questions as well as also vote on part of budget. Now in this only 25% of the budget was subject to vote. 75 will be under the control of British, only 25% was subject to vote, and then rest of the budget was non-votable, and the bill had to be passed in both the houses before it became law. Clear? And apart from this, there were 3 measures to resolve any deadlock between both the houses, because now 2 houses are there. So possibility है कि deadlock हो सकता है. So 3 measures were there to resolve the deadlock between both the houses. Joint committees बनाई जाएंगी, joint sittings and joint conferences. So these 3 things were there to resolve the deadlock. This much is clear to all of you. Getting my point? ये चीजें ध्यान रखिएगा. Then Governor General. So Governor General assent was required if any bill to become law. जैसे बिना president के कोई bill act नहीं बन सकता. Clear? So remember this thing. So ये तभी होगा when both the houses they will pass that bill. Then he could also enact a bill without a legislative consent. Yes. So Governor General was given this power also, that he could enact a bill without the legislature consent. Then he could prevent a bill from becoming a law if he deems to be detrimental for the peace of the country. So he can stop any bill. Clear? If he thinks that it is not good for the nation or the country. Clear? And he could disallow any question, adjournment, motion or debate in the house. Yes. Governor General has the power that he could disallow any question, adjourn, motion or debate in the house. So this was the power of Governor General. Now the question here is, who could vote? Clear? So this limited franchisee was there. Clear? Limited franchise was there. There was no universal adult franchise, and voters should have paid land revenue or have a property with rental value or taxable income. Clear? So voters should have paid land revenue around 3,000 or have property with rental value, have taxable income. So they will be considered as voters. Clear? Now another important criteria was they should possess previous experience in legislative council as well. Yes, they should have some experience in legislative council. Then they should be the members of university senate. Yes. Another criteria was they should hold offices in local bodies. They should hold some specific titles, or all these things narrowed the number of people who could vote to an abysmal number. Yes, ये इसीलिए था ताकि वोट करने वालों की जो नंबर से उनको कम रखा जाए. Clear everyone? So Indian Council, now remember this thing, Indian Council was the council of Secretary of State. Now अब यहाँ पर क्या change आया? Remember this thing, there were to be at least 8 and maximum of 12 members in the council. Yes, the change was there is at least 8 members and maximum 12 members should be there, and half of the members should have 10 years of experience in public service in India. In terms of Indian Council, minimum 8, maximum 12 members, and half of the members should have 10 years of experience in public service in India, and their tenure was to be for 5 years, and their salaries were increased from £1,000 to £1,200. Yes, their salaries were increased from 1,000 to £1,200, and there were to be 3 Indian members in Indian Council. Yes, now 3 Indian members should also be there in Indian Council. Clear? Now as you can see, this other features. Now this act, for the first time this act provided for Public Service Commission in India. Then this act also provided after 10 years. अब इस act में ये भी कहा गया that after 10 years this act will be reviewed, diarchy will be reviewed. That is why after 10 years Simon Commission will come. Though Simon Commission will come earlier, 2 साल पहले ही आ जाएगा in 1927, though it was supposed to come in 1929, but because of elections in Britain it came in 1927. So Simon Commission will come to review this act. Clear? So it also created the office of High Commissioner for India in London, and some of the powers of Secretary of State were given to High Commissioner of India. Then provincial budget were separated for the first time from central budget. Yes, now for the first time provincial budgets were introduced and they were separated from central budgets. So what are the merits of this act? First of all, diarchy. So why diarchy was introduced? The target or diarchy was introduced the concept of responsible governance. Then it also introduced the concept of federal structure with unitary bias. Yes, this is considered as federal structure with unitary bias. Though federal governments are there, but union is more powerful. Clear? Then increase in the participation of Indians in administration, because Indians held some portfolios like health, education, sanitation, all these things. And for the first time elections were known to people, because direct elections was also introduced. Getting my point? And it created a kind of political consciousness among people. And some Indian women also had the right to vote for the first time. Getting my point? So this was the change in Government of India Act 1919. I hope this much is clear to all of you. Clear, everyone? Now, last but not least, Government of India Act 1935. Now there are various reasons which resulted into Government of India Act 1935. Now, reasons like, now Simon Commission came. Advent of Simon Commission in February 1928. Now announcement of Simon Commission in 1927. Announcement कब हुई थी? 1927 में. Arrive कब किया? Simon Commission arrived in February 1928 in Bombay. And this Simon Commission was white member commission. Clear? Now Simon Commission recommended for 3 round table conferences. Round table conference first, second round table conference, third round table conference. That is in 1930, 31 and 1932. Now in this round table conference, Congress boycotted this conference. Congress was not there. Congress was invited and Gandhi went. So Congress participated only in second round table conference, but no outcome. So the discussions in round table conference were written. Discussions of round table conference were written. That is round table conference report. And then this report was introduced as a bill in 1934, which is called as White Paper Resolution. White Paper Resolution. And then this bill becomes an act and it was enforced in the name of Government of India Act 1935. Clear? So Government of India Act, so factors leading to Simon Commission report, discussions on the basis of roundtable conferences, white paper published by British government in 1933 and the report of joint select committees. Clear? So this resulted into Government of India Act 1935. Now the most important, so there now around 70% of our constitution is taken from this Government of India Act 1935. Now in this, first of all, the concept of federalism was introduced. The most important thing here is All India Federation. Now, All India Federation, though India was not a nation, इंडिया उस समय नेशन नहीं था, बट ब्रिटिशर्स ने ये चीज इंट्रोड्यूस करके इंडिया को नेशन मान लिया था. क्लियर? सो ऑल इंडिया फेडरेशन, दैट मीन्स फेडरेशन विल कंसिस्ट प्रोविंसेस, दैट मीन्स ब्रिटिश इंडिया एंड प्रिंसली स्टेट state. Now there was one condition. Federation कैसे बनेगा? When more than 50% princely state will accept this federation, then only it will become federation. So princely state कभी accept नहीं करेंगे and federation कभी बना नहीं. Clear? So remember this thing. So this federation was to consist British India and princely states. So provinces in British India would have to join federation, but this was not compulsory for princely states. That is why this condition was there. If they want to join, then 50% of princely states should accept this. Clear? और ये होगा नहीं. That is why this federation never materialized because of lack of support from required number of princely states. At least 50% should be there. Then it divided the powers between center and different units. So three lists came for the first time: central list, provincial list and concurrent list. अब इस एक्ट में three lists आ गई: central, provincial and concurrent. Central list was called as federal list, and residuary power was given to viceroy. So whatever the things that are not given in any of the list will be under the control of central list, concurrent list. Getting my point? So residuary power किसके पास थी? Viceroy के पास. And if there is any conflict with respect to federal and provincial list, so concurrent list क्या कहता है? Federal list always prevails. Clear? ये याद रखिएगा. Then this act established federal court in India in 1937 in Delhi. But now why federal court? अब एक चीज याद रखिए, because this act talks about federalism, British India and provinces. If there is any conflict between union and provinces, then who is going to solve? Supreme Court. So here Federal Court 1937 was established. But the decision of private council is still superior. Decision of private council is still superior. So this federation never fructified since princely state did not join it. Now fully responsible government in the provinces. Now Indian leaders, they agitated for the diarchy at the level of provinces. Now for the first time in this act, provincial autonomy was given to Indians. Provincial autonomy. No transferred list, no reserved list. Provincial autonomy was introduced and diarchy was introduced at central level in this act. यहाँ पर diarchy किस लेवल पे इंट्रोड्यूस हुई? सेंट्रल लेवल पे. बट प्रोविंसेस बिकेम ऑटोनॉमस. सो प्रोविंशियल ऑटोनॉमी. So it abolished diarchy in the provinces and introduced provincial autonomy. So this act introduced responsible government in provinces. Governor was required to act with the aid of council of ministers. अब गवर्नर को किसके हिसाब से काम करना है? With the aid and advice of ministers responsible to the provincial legislature. Governor was the head of executive and legislature could also remove ministers. Yes, clear? Legislature could also remove ministers. So governor still retained special reserve power. So governor अभी भी powerful थे. Clear? So British authorities could still suspend a provincial government. Just like Article 356, जैसे याद होता है ना President rule. So in this act, Government of India Act, Section 93 was there. Section 93 means center can dismiss provincial government. Clear? So today this Section 93 became Article 356. Clear? Now, another, so diarchy was introduced at central level. Now at central level, two lists, transferred and reserved. So federal list divided into two parts, reserved and transferred list. Reserve will be under the control of Governor General. Clear? And Governor General will administer these things with the help of 3 councillors appointed by him. and they were not responsible for legislature, and these subjects were defense, then church related issues, clear, and then external affairs, press, police, taxation, all these things under the control of British, that means at central level in reserved list. And transfer subjects like, so here transfer subject will be administered by Governor General with his Council of Ministers, not more than 10. Yes, Council of Ministers honge, but not more than 10. Clear? So Council has to act in confidence with the legislature. जैसे आज confidence and no confidence होता है, so Council they have to act in the confidence of legislature. So the subject included in this list like local government, forest, education, health, etc. Clear? So Governor General had special powers to interfere in transferred subject also. Getting my point? क्योंकि head कौन है? Head Governor General ही है. Clear? Now, bicameral legislature. Yes, a bicameral federal legislature would also be established. Two houses were there. Now here lower house was called as Federal Assembly, upper house Council of State. Now Federal Assembly. Now lower house का tenure क्या था? Government of India Act 1919. It was 3 years. But here the tenure of Federal Assembly was for 5 years. Here lower house tenure was 5 years. And both the houses had representatives from princely states as well. Clear? So the representative of princely states were to be nominated by the rulers, not elected. So rulers used to nominate the members. Clear? So representatives of British India were to be elected and princely state were to be nominated. Clear? So some were to be nominated by Governor General. कुछ members nominate किए जाते थे Governor General द्वारा भी. So bicameral legislature was introduced in some provinces also. That means at provincial level in some provinces 2 houses were introduced like Bombay, Bihar, Assam, Bengal, Madras and United Province. So Government of India Act में in 6 states में bicameral provincial legislature was also introduced. Clear? So as you can see here, Imperial Legislative Council, clear? So here as you can see, Federal Assembly, that is lower house, its tenure was 5 years. Now lower house partly indirectly elected from British Indian provinces and partly 1/3 nominated by princes. Getting my point? So partly indirectly elected from British Indian provinces. So some of the members were indirectly elected by the members of Provincial Legislative Council Assembly members and 1/3 people nominated by princely states. Clear? Then in Council of States was a permanent body and 1/3 retire every 2 years. 1/3 of members retired every 2 years. Now in Council of State, that means upper house. अब upper house में ये याद रखिएगा that partly directly elected from provinces. Clear? Directly elected from provinces, that is British Indian provinces, and partly nominated by princes. तो यहां पर directly है और वहां lower house में क्या है? Indirectly, क्योंकि वो उस समय सबसे ज्यादा powerful था. Clear? So they could not move a vote of no confidence. Yes, this Council of State member could not move a vote of no confidence. Then the powers of Viceroy. Viceroy was having residuary power. He could restore the cut in grants. Then he can certify the bill rejected by legislature. He can issue ordinances. He can exercise his veto as well. Clear? He could exercise his judgment while discharging his special responsibilities for security and tranquility of India. And then he was also empowered to appoint the governor of RBI, Reserve Bank of India, because in this Federal Bank was also established, that is Reserve Bank of India. So RBI Act came. Clear? And then RBI was established in 1935. Clear? Under this RBI Act. So Viceroy was having the power to appoint the governor of RBI. Clear? Then Federal Court, which we have already discussed, Federal Court was established at Delhi. in 1937. So basically this code was created to resolve the dispute between provinces and center. Then in this court, one chief justice will be there and not more than 6 judges. Clear? And then Indian Council. अब एक चीज याद रखिएगा, the council which was established in Government of India Act 1858, Secretary of State Council, India Council, that council was abolished in Government of India Act 1935. So in this act, Secretary of State Council, Indian Council was abolished. Now Secretary of State for India would instead have a team of advisors. अब उसके पास council नहीं होगी, but he will be having advisors. Then franchise, this act introduced direct elections in India for the first time. Getting my point? So some of the seats reserved for various groups, and then reserved seats for depressed classes as well, because it was the outcome of Pune Pact. Then reorganization also took place, like सिंध जो है उसको बॉम्बे प्रेसिडेंसी से कार्व आउट कर दिया गया था. क्लियर? सिंध बिकेम अदर प्रोविंस, इंडिपेंडेंट प्रोविंस. क्लियर? सिंध एक अलग प्रोविंस बन गया था, बॉम्बे प्रेसिडेंसी से बाहर आ गया था. देन बिहार एंड उड़ीसा वर ऑल्सो स्प्लिट. देन बर्मा वॉज severed off from India. Yes, Burma got independence with this act in 1935. And then Aden was also separated from India and made into a crown colony. Yes, Aden was also separated from India and it was made into a crown colony. Clear? So these are some important things. So this act basically provided for the setting up of the Federal Public Service Commission. Clear? So this act mentioned the Federal Public Service Commission. Then it also provided for Provincial Public Service Commission. आज हर state के public services होते. Then Joint Public Service Commission and Federal Court and Reserve Bank. So this is the contribution of Government of India Act 1935. That is why our forefathers, they have taken, our constitutional masters, they have taken around 70% of our constitution from this act. Getting my point? So I hope everything is clear now. कोई भी बुक पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है, आप इस वीडियो को अच्छे से देखिए और रिवाइज कर सकते हैं इन तीनों ही एक्ट्स को. एंड दीज एक्ट्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन. सो आई होप दिस मच इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू. थैंक यू सो मच.